Okay, good morning everyone. Today is Monday. I'm doing my videos in advance now so everything can be ready to go. Today's a new day. It's Monday. So, a couple things before I start presenting. I have attached these notes onto the folder so you could see them. Like I said in the previous video, I think you could always print them out if you have a printer. If not, you just have them there for reference so you know what I'm talking about. You're reading what I'm presenting, okay? But let's get started. So today we're going to be talking about arithmetic sequences, also known as the introduction to function rules. So this is very interesting because we've already done the function rule from last time when we evaluated, we replaced some stuff. So you're going to see some similarities. Okay, a couple definitions. A sequence is a series of numbers. So we're going to have a series of numbers, and you'll be adding and subtracting operations known as the rate of change. Rate of change is pretty important because you guys have already learned that. It's my slow, but you'll learn that coming down this week and next week. All right, anyways. So we're going to take this formula, this function, to predict the future. We're going to look at something. We're going to say, hey, I want to know what's happening further down the line. It's going to be pretty cool. Okay, so this is a regular function. He notes that D is called the common difference and this a sub 0, a0 is the number previous to my first term, So when you're given a sequence, you always have a number that they give you first, and you got to go in front of it to get my A0, and then this is going to make our life a whole lot easier, okay? So let's keep going. So we got to calculate the difference, the steps. After that, we're going to make a table. After that, we're going to see that D and A0 is there, and we should be good to go. Check it out. Let me zoom in just a little tiny bit. All right, this is my example. Of course, I want you to do the next one if you got the hang of it. If not, we'll do it all together. All right, so I need to know what the difference is, what's happening in the sequence. And a lot of us already going to know, okay, I know it's going down. Great, so you know it's going down. So, but how much is it going down by? You use your fingers, go ahead. You can do 35 minus 32, and you'll see that it's going down by 3. But because it's going down by 3, am I going to be putting a plus 3 or a minus 3? Well, I know if I did 35 minus 3, it gave me 32. I should hopefully see, okay, 32 minus 3 gives me 29. And so on, and so on. Why is this important? Because this number is my D. So I get to say D equals -3. So I have the first step done. Next step. I need to know my A0. So this is where the second step I need to make a table. So I draw a beautiful table. And I know this is broken up into parts, so I just made a table horizontally. My first number, 35, that is defined as A1 because it's my first term. It's the first number of the sequence. This is A2, A3, and A4. Okay, this is where it gets interesting, ladies and gentlemen. So going this way, we subtract it, right? Going that way, we subtract it. In order to get this A0 that I want, I can't subtract, because if I subtract 35 minus 3, it gives me this number. So I can't subtract, it's going that way. So in order to go backwards, I need to add 3. That's the key part right there. So make sure, hey, one way is one way. One way is subtracting, the other way is adding, and reverse for other problems that we'll see right now a little bit. Okay, so we got 35 plus 3, that gives me 38. So now I have my two pieces of information. I'm going to use black. I have my D I have my A0, so my formula is AN, formula from the top. AN, I'm replacing D with -3, N, and this is a positive 38, so I just put plus 38. And this is what we're going to be using. And we've seen this before, but with the X's, so it's kind of similar. On Tuesday, we're going to talk about that more in depth. I think even the next page. So go ahead, do your time, pause the video if you want to try it out, and then resume the video so you can see. I'm just going to work through it very quickly, and I'm going to work on my problem, okay? Okay, so if you resume the video, you saw me not talking because I want you to be talking to yourself. Figure it out. You know it's going up by 10, that's the difference. Going backwards, we're going to subtract 10, so 30 minus 10 gives me 20, that's A0. Using the formula up top, it's not right here on my board, but we have AN, replace the D, replace the A0, and there's your function notation. Moving on. Of course, if you need to stop the video, rewind it, and go ahead, that's no problem to me. Doing this real fast. I have purple, right? So let's go. 9 to 14 is going up, so we're adding. So since we're adding, oh, I think I messed up, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm good. So then we got 9 to 14 is plus 5, and then plus 5. And then plus 5, right? So that tells me my D is positive 5, right? Then we gotta make our table. If you already know how to do this, go right ahead. I'm not stopping you. I'm not there with you. A1, A2, A3, A4. And we're looking for A0. To do that, going backwards is minus 5. So 9 minus 5 is 4. Now we got our beautiful pieces of information. Write out the formula. I wish I could call somebody and say, what is my function notation? You should be able to see AN equals 5N positive 4. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, I hope. Again, if you need help, come to tutoring hours. They're going to change a little bit because we're back in the building, so make sure you look at the times. I'll let you know the times as soon as I know. Alright. I'm going to help you guys with your problem because that one is a little different. It looks like the numbers are going up, but they're all negative. So in this case, you need to be very careful. If you need to get a number line, or you need to look it up, how did I get from -7 to -9? I did not add. They're negative. So it means I subtracted by 2. You don't trust me, use your calculator. -7 minus 2 gives me -9. And we keep going with -2, -2. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I move on, I just want to make one specification. This is an arithmetic sequence because the difference is always consistent. If it's not the same number of the difference, that means it's not an arithmetic sequence, so just keep that in mind. So I got -2, that is my D. And then we draw our table. Boom, shaboom. A1, A2, A3, A4, A0. Going the opposite of -2, so now we're adding 2. Calculator, if you need help, no worries. -7 plus 2 is -5. Have my 2 pieces of information that I need. That A0, that D. So now I know my answer is AN equals -2 and -5. Why am I putting -5? Because it's negative. I don't want to see. This is a no. Do not put AN equals -2n plus -5. Do not do that. That is not okay because we've talked about it before. Do not put plus minus. You always want to go with this first one that I know the number's negative, so just make it a -5 because that's still a -5. Good stuff. Let's go. Keep going. All right. I'm going to do one, then you're going to do the next one. Same situation. I want to know the D, the A0, and now we're going to predict the future. Check it out. Let's do this real quick. So I got -4 to 3, so that means it's going up. Hey, I don't know how to do this, but it's okay. Look at the next one. How did I go from 3 to 10? Plus 7, plus 7, plus 7. Don't worry if you get stuck. Look at the next numbers for help if you need additional help. So that tells me my D is, oh, I have the thing right here, just kidding. So that tells me my D is +7. Let's look for A0. A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. This should be already pretty routine. So I know if we go backwards, we're not doing +7, we're doing -7. Use your calculator for additional help. I promise you'll be okay. It's okay to use your calculator. -4 minus 7 gives me -11. Let's write this beautiful function rule. Well, it's right here anyways. So we got A sub n equals 7n minus 11. Okay. Now here is very important. This is where we predict the future. You're probably wondering, sir, why do we have that little n right there? Well, that's what you're going to use to predict. We're going to replace. We're going to substitute. So I'm going to take this n and put this 41. Anywhere I see an n, we put a 41. So I have a 41 equals 7. Instead of the n, what do I put? Yeah, you put the 41. We've done this before. Minus 11. And so we work it out. 7 times 41, holy shoots, I don't know. I think it's 287. I think. Yep. Let's bring down the minus 11. So now I should get A41 equals that. 287 minus 11. Calculator, if you're not sure. I think it's 276. Sir, what's 276? Well, these little dots are telling you it goes on forever and ever. So if I counted 41 times A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, and we keep going to A41, oops, it's gonna be 276. So if you keep going, you still keep getting the same stuff, okay? You do that next one. I'm gonna pause the video and you do the next one. You pause the video and try it on your own. Okay, hopefully you got all that work done. Of course, if you need additional help, come to tutorials. We found the pattern was negative 100, that's our D. We went backwards, gave me a positive 65. Hopefully I did that right because I did it all in my head. Got these two pieces of information, made our recursive formula, and then we substituted this 99 because hopefully you caught on that 99 is my n. Replace the n's with 99. Multiplied, added. Hopefully I got that number right since I did it in my head, but I'm pretty sure I did. Great, I wish I could say any questions, but nobody's here. Last but not least, just need to go over this real quick. So they gave us the first term, and then they gave us the D. So they're telling you what to do. They're saying, hey, you know what, Mr. Ramirez, we're giving you A1, so figure it out. Find out what the rest of the stuff is. So you're supposed to be able to make a table, so 4, and then we make the pattern, right, and so on. And the difference is 7 is positive 7. Oh, it's negative 4. Nobody told me because nobody's here. That's okay. And we're supposed to do the pattern, so plus 7. Oh, shoot. Plus 7, which is 3. And then plus 7, which is 10. And then plus 7, which is 17. So they gave us a pattern. We just need to make sure we find the A0 and then do what it's asking us to do. So we need to make sure we always look for the A0 going backwards by minus 7. Negative 4 minus 7 is negative 11. So our function rule is these two numbers, not this one, because we're looking for A0 all the time. So we have AN equals 7N minus 11. And then we use that, okay? So we're going to do it already. I'm replacing it already. So we got 7 parentheses. So I like to do a different color to show you guys. Parentheses 152 minus 11. Oops. Minus 11. You multiply. I actually don't know that from the top of my head. So let me get a calculator. If I could find one. Uh-oh. Party foul, 7 times 152. Okay, that gives me 1064 minus 11. So that tells me A152 equals 1053. Good stuff. Good stuff. Right here to the right side, this is a little bit different because it gives you A3. It didn't hook us up with the A1, so check it out. Let me move it on over. Pick it up a little bit so we have a little more space. Okay. So it gave me A3. So let's make a table. A1, A2, A3, A4. Alright. So right here is A3. But Mr. Ramirez, A0 is all the way over here. Who cares? You can still go that way. You know the D pattern. So the D pattern is telling you, hey, I want you to do minus 100. So if I did A4, it's going to be minus 335. Alright? So to go backwards, we got to get to A0. So how many times am I going to be doing the 100? 3 times. Whoops, wrong one. So I know to get the A2, it's going to be plus 100. That gives me negative 135. Next, I'm going to do another plus 100. That gives me negative 35. And I'm going to do the last plus 100 to get my A0, which is what I want. My last plus 100, I think, is 65. And now I have the good stuff. Oh, wrong one. My A0, my D. I can finish it, sorry. So A n equals my D, which is negative 100, and with a positive 65. So then, go. Let's do this real quick. Negative 100. Instead of the n, I want to put 79. Where did I get the 79 from? It's right there. Plus 65. Negative 100 times 79 is negative 7,900 plus the 65. So then my A79 is negative 78.35. I think that's right. If it's wrong, please tell me, and then you'll be good to go. Remember, always positive. You're not sure, replay it. There's no issue because it's all saved. And the last start. I think we already talked about this. This was over here in this problem. Yeah. And then of course, non-arithmetic, I mentioned that earlier. It's something like this. Let's say it's 2, 5, 18, 3, 13, and so on. So right here it went plus 3, okay? Go up here it went plus 13. What the? And then it went minus 5. This difference is not a common difference, so this is not arithmetic, okay? So make sure you just count the difference and you should be good to go. Tutorials are every day. So far, 7:15 and 1:30. Hit me up and you'll be good to go and you'll be all right for passing the first quarter. Thank you.